always this thing, the recording. But yeah, we are recording the most important part of our meeting.
Okay, well, good morning, everyone. Nice to see you late in the summer. I will start and share my screen. So as Ileana, just as a bit of an introduction, as Ileana said, this wasn't the original product that was forecast for my support. It was more an article, but following the last meeting, the meeting in November, I think, yeah, it was a good decision to kind of see if there was an opportunity to create something, all of you together, or something you can build on locally or just with a few partners. So hopefully the concept note that I've provided, that I've produced, will provide some basic information to help you start that journey into creating a digital archive, whether within your municipality or as an external project that you can maybe find some external funding for, like that could potentially become a Horizon project or something else. I'm just going to share and you let me know if you can still hear me and if you see the screen. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yes. Great. So yes, this is, as I said, just a brief outline of how to create a digital archive for Archethics. So there's a bit of an angle on dissonant and cultural heritage to that presentation. I am not going to read the whole thing. It's the concept note that I will run through, because I think you haven't had sight of it previously. So I will present it, not into details, and if you have any questions during that meeting, feel free to ask them, and afterwards as well, if you go like into more details or if you start looking into how to create it, please feel free to reach out with any questions. I think one thing to mention as well is that the concept note can be adapted, and if you remember the digitization template that we use, the tool in Vila Nova de Cerveira, that can be actually a good supplement tool to start thinking about your project and really identify all the elements that you would need. So I would see those two elements working together outside the original product. So just a bit of an introduction. I'm not going to read everything, but the idea is to create a digital archive that we, as a city, or to share information on your dissonant heritage, but also allow the public from your residents and tourists and any other kind of persons interested in your dissonant heritage to actually find some information and start looking into the different elements. The idea is for you to develop it collectively between partners, but also to have a kind of a central platform where you can all share the different elements of your dissonant heritage that you wish to share with the outside world. And it also encompasses the 4 project dimensions of history, people, ethics, and architecture that are the core of your project. So quickly, what is a digital archive? So it's a collection of materials. It can be documents, it can be images, audio recordings, videos that are stored and preserved electronically, and that are organized. Usually it's for the long-term access, like you usually don't create an archive just for a week. So it's really having that long-term vision of sharing your heritage. It can have different purposes of dimensions, and we'll see a few of them, and a few guiding questions that you can start with or ask yourself before embarking on this project to make sure that's really what you want. Is why do you want it and why do you need it? What resources you already have digitally, like do you already have some of these resources, or do you know where to find them? What do you want to digitize? So obviously you cannot, or I don't think we can digitize everything. So it's already starting thinking of which element you will prioritize for your archive, and what tools and platforms exist around that you can use, whether they are free to access or paid for services. So it's a bit of a market research as well into what's available around there. So the objective of an archaic digital archive would be to preserve and document diverse heritage materials and narratives as well. to foster the dialogue and critical reflection and education. I think there was an educational part of your project that's very important as well, and the archive can be adapted to serve this purpose. To ensure accessibility, inclusivity, and ethical representations, because that through the digital tools, you can actually allow for different viewpoints and different narratives around one dissonant heritage item that can create an interesting debate. It's also to provide or bring to the table an interdisciplinary perspective, so linking different elements like the dissonant heritage, but also the societal impact of it, the ethical and architectural consideration, like you've been doing through the whole project, and to enable a multi-perspective approach across the 4 dimensions and themes of Archethics. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see I've tried to kind of identify some of the elements across the four core areas of Archethics that can be reflected in the archive. So in terms of the historic one, it's like serving obviously as an archival record, but also to enable different historical narratives. The people area is more about the recording of the oral histories and the sharing of them, but also the community contributions can fall under that area. On the architecture side, it's obviously objects, monuments, buildings, and documentation, and the virtual reconstruction as well. We've seen in Vila Nova de Cerveira some examples like 3D modeling that can be used, or like just images that are brought to life, and that can be also included in the archive. And then in terms of the ethical angle, it's the memory and heritage debates and moderations to make sure that all the views are represented, but also that there is a kind of like factual and neutral presentation of the historical items. A bit more technical now, like there are some guiding principles that are usually good to follow when you start thinking or developing a digital archive, and in particular for a dissonant, like more controversial elements. So in terms of access, it's open access. So it's a choice, but usually it's recommended to have like an open access. So here that means that you will have to look at the copyrights of the elements that you digitize and want to share, but also like the policy around sharing, around commenting, around using that material as well. Whether it will be free of charge, whether you want to charge something, whether there's like different tiers, like a free, premium, and expert kind of access. If you work with universities or academics that will use that material. Accessibility, it's making sure that obviously your content is as accessible, as widely as possible. And that includes disabilities, people with disabilities, but also people with different levels of technological literacy, different language backgrounds, and also compatibility across the different devices, depending on how you want to share. Integrity, so it's maintaining the authenticity and accuracy and trustworthiness of the materials that you are sharing. So that's kind of a big task when you start like collecting the material and like building the metadata information. So we'll talk a bit about it. So yeah, it's really how not to distort the material when it's a narrative, not to edit in such a way that it's actually changing the message, etc., etc. Interactivity, so it's about encouraging active users into engaging with the archive through different tools. It can be allowing people to annotate the archives. It can be just like a forum for discussions. It can be different types of exchanges or even a collaboration into feeding into the archive. So you can have your official like formal area, and then you can have suggestions from the communities. And interdisciplinarity, we talked a bit earlier, but it's about allowing contribution to a wide range of people with different background, different professional expertise as well. And all of this needs to be considered from the start when you start designing your architecture, so your archive architecture, but also collecting the items so that you know in what form and format you need to collect them. Some key elements of a digital archive. So here it's kind of like a very high level, I would say, outline of what the process can be. So the first step would be the documentation. So it's about like defining the selection criteria for the elements that you want to share, we've seen the different format, and also the stakeholder engagement into collecting them or making sure that the format you want to share them on is actually relevant, or like it's user friendly, it's what people want to see in some ways. Then there is the metadata selection, which is really a backbone. We'll talk a bit in the next slide, but it's really the backbone of how your archive will function in some way. So it's you've got the descriptive metadata, you've got the administrative one, and you've got the technical one, and we run into more details. But it's really like that's how your archive will be navigated, that's how your archive will be discovered. So it's very important to have a clear metadata, and it's also how you will be able to organize it. So an important aspect of building a digital archive. And then it's about making the right technological choice. So there's the first step, which is about digitizing the content of your archive. And then it's about the choice of the platform. So there are tools that are free, there are tools that are paid for, and it's about knowing what you can use first as a municipality, or what you want to use it for. I'm not gonna read all of it, but here it's so the first step, it's about like the selection of the material and the content you want to share. So it's very important actually to know what you want to share, what you want to preserve, and why. And then the second element is who has the ownership of it, who has it. And can you share it? Can you share it for free? Can you publish it, etc.? So it's really unearthing all these elements before you actually can publish on the digital platform and in your digital archive. And here there are different things to consider, but a key one is actually around the copyright, the digitization process, and the storage need as well, because contents can be, some contents are heavier than others. And also the content management system is important if you need to change it, if you want to reorganize it, have like some elements of online exhibitions, you need to extract the information and put it in another virtual room. So it's all elements that are important, but the copyright clearance, licensing, and attribution and access restrictions is very important. You need to make sure that you can share it, and then if you are the one created the content, under which license you want to share it. And here on the right-hand side, I've provided some examples, and the link at the bottom where you have all the different Creative Commons, which are the most used standards for sharing online usually. And then the famous metadata, as I said, the backbone of your digital archive. So what it is, it's the way to organize your archive. So it's all the information that describes what the item you want to publish is. It provides like the essential information, both for your storage and online organization, but also how people will be able to navigate and find the elements in your archive. So you have got the descriptive metadata, which includes the information like the title, if it's a photo, the title of your photo, who took the photo, a short description that can help kind of like classify. And when you have the little search tool, that's where the information will be linked. So it's important to be precise here. The administrative one, which is about like how you will manage the item, so the size, the format, and the date of digitization as well. It's important because that's how also you will ensure that you keep the accuracy and it's not being tampered with. So that's quite an important element. And then the technical metadata, which is more about the digitization process itself. So the equipment used to digitize is the file resolution, high or low resolution. You can store in both format or in both sizes, for instance, depending on what you want to use it for. And the format, whether it's a video, whether it's a photo, and under which format the photo. If it's a document, is it a scanned or is it a typed or is it a PDF kind of document? So it's all that kind of information that you will need to adhere to, and there are some standards for that. The Dublin core is the most used one, and then the 3IF ones, which can't remember what the I's mean, but international, whatever. But they are the two main standards I use internationally, and that kind of ensure consistency also across the different, softwares and browsers that you might use for your archive. So yeah, that's that's really a key step for you when you've selected your elements, your items for your archive to do that. And it's less technical than it looks. I mean, it's just, as we say, it's a kind of an Excel spreadsheet, and you just have all this information coded into it, you extract it, and it just uploads. So yeah, it's not too difficult, and there are tools for that. Then in terms of your technological choice, so it's about defining which platform you will use and what elements, what functions you will include in that on that platform. So there are there's three key blocks. So the requirements first. So it is good to consider a platform that's modular enough and scalable to support future expansions, but also, like I said, some changes. If you were to reorganize, like want to have like a month thematic highlights, it's good to be able to build like a block and extract some information and link it, or if you want, just to reorganize by years or by areas of time, etc., themes. So that's one. So there are some open source frameworks for that. So OMKS and Drupal are the main ones. I think I can't remember the name of the example, but there was an Omeka one that I presented in the digitization webinar. So you can find some examples of projects that have used that framework. And then it's the API integration for external data sources. So that's when you will use some items that you don't store or own directly, but you want to link to your digital archive, or if between each other you want to also link and pull together the resources. That's how you kind of create the API to plug into your platform, and that's also what will allow public contributions, or if you want to run like some games, etc., you need to make sure that they are pluggable into your platform. Then in terms of like features, so you might want to have a multi-format archive, obviously, so that you can use different format of materials, text, images, audio, etc. Thematic content, organized around specific topics, regions, or events. So again, some features that when you look at what the platform or the tool provides, seek for this, and they're quite standard, this one, they're usually provided. Interactive tools, so like you can create like timelines or story maps, virtual tools, like if you go into some museum website these days, you can see them. Community contributions, so it's about having those forum of those page where people can contribute either through comments or actually through uploading and sharing their own items that they want to see. If you had a community Dissonant Heritage archive, for instance, that they can all contribute to, upload their own personal archive if you wanted to have like photographies from your families in the 50s or something. It's some options. Multilingual, if you are all working together, obviously you need to have some multilingual features. And then some advanced search tool, just to allow like a search by keywords or locations, etc. And that brings us back to the metadata, that if you have a search tool and you allow for some advanced searching, just make sure that information is actually included in the metadata as well, so that it's easily searchable. And then there's some element of enabling user contributions. So obviously, as I said, about like you can invite people or your communities to submit content, documents, testimonies, etc. But in that case, as we discussed in one of the previous meetings, moderation is key. So you need to have that feature. You need to have that resource, but you also need to have that feature enabled in your archive, so that you ensure that the quality and relevance of the contribution is there, but also some ethical compliance, as we said, like the accuracy remains along the way. And then that would be the last slide. So just a few more considerations that you can think of when you build your digital archive. It's obviously engaging a broad range of stakeholders, and you've got that already with your local groups, but you can even go wider in terms of having like heritage professional, archivists, librarians, information specialists, etc., to contribute and to help you like design the tools, design the interaction, and design the content as well. Ethics and bias, so making sure that you address that through the co-design of the different interfaces. When you design and define your metadata as well, making sure that the words that you use are actually also like ethical, not carry any bias in what they bring to life. Like the word itself might not mean anything, but then if it kind of brings some controversial content, that's something to be tested with your users from a diverse background. Crowdsourcing and selection of the digitization tools as well, that can have an impact. So all elements to consider. Transparency, so if you receive funding, if you set up selection criteria for the content to be selected, be clear about that. You can have just a page about how we went about it, what are our selection criteria. In particular, if you ask contributions from your communities or from people, that's quite important to be transparent. Again, the metadata and all the search options as well. Just be as transparent as you can about the different filters that you use or why you've selected them and not others. And then education is something that we touched upon a bit earlier, but how the digital archive can be used for educational purposes as well, whether for kids, but students, adults, any kind of public really, but having also an element of digital literacy, capacity building or development. If you see that some people, some communities actually do not have that literacy knowledge, just making sure that you can partner with someone or that you have a bit of a literacy element into your archive. So that can be an activity, how to use the archive or something. And then when you build it, just also to sometimes like take the time to pause, rethink and reevaluate the purpose of the digitization and the uses that are being made of it, and the value also of non-digital. So never forgetting that it's not all about the virtual world, but also how it brings back to your actually real digital, the digital, not the digital, sorry, the dissonant heritage in your cities, and how it adds to it rather than just like creates a bit of a divide between what's online and what's in your city. And the last one is just like, so these are all hyperlinks, and they are quite useful guidance that you can use. Some are more technical, some are more about the ethics and how to select your content. I've included the Creative Commons link, and the one from the UNESCO and the Iraqi digitization of their cultural heritage is really relevant as well. It's an interesting one because obviously it's one that has had a lot of dissonant content in it. So it's how they went about and how the UNESCO helped also with that process. And Cugnet, Digital Cultural Heritage Research Hub, I don't know if you've heard of them or if you've engaged with them, but they're a European project. And they've got a lot of contents as well. And they have online classes or online lessons that I think you need to register for it. But I'm sure as a European project, if you were to approach them, they might be able to give you actually access to it. And it's quite a good resource as well. So I would encourage you to engage with them. They've done an amazing job in terms of digitalization and archiving of cultural heritage. And that's it from me. That was a bit of a rush through it, but as I said, just a brief outline, and I'll stop sharing. And I don't know if you have any questions or remarks, or if it's quite a lot already to think.
first of all, thank you very much, Marion, for your work, for this concept note, which is much more than a concept note, for a possible digital archive of Dissonant Heritage of Archethics. I know that there are some partners that are already working on a local digital archive, for instance, Përmet, but also others would like to develop something similar, but at local level. I don't know if you have any issues that you want to share, some insights or some questions for Marion. I don't know, Denisa, if you have something to share about it, because I know that you are collecting materials and you are preparing something that could be considered a digital archive for a Përmet.
Yes, but it is a simple one. So this is the local level, and it includes just the scanning of all the relevant documents that are in our museums or our. So this is, and then for sharing, it is not. We have it. We have notified the stakeholders that will be interested for this, and we send just to them. It is not an open source because it should have many criteria, as Marion explained, to be an open source.
Yeah, thank you.
But we do, as there is an open archive, it is at national level, we have the links and they are open source. So for that part, we're okay. But at the local level, we just have it and we send to the ones that are interested.
There is something else that someone else would like to share about it. I don't know, from Gdańsk or from Cesena, Vila Nova, I don't know.
Yeah, it's quite a lot. It's quite technical as well. So I guess it's only when you start diving into it that the question arises.
Yeah. There is a spin-off as a digital archive developed by the Urban Agenda. I don't know if we already talked about it, but without all of these criteria that you describe. It's just a collection of websites, locations, just to put together researchers, municipalities, and other practitioners that are working on Dissonant Heritage, which is also something that could be helpful for Archethics. Hello, Paulina. Finally, I'm so sorry for the mistake about the link. Yes, I realized when we were in the Zoom link that Google created also a Meet link, and apologize for that because I did it with my iPad when I was on holiday and I couldn't organize this so well. So apologize. I think that as let's say a starting point for Archethics, the material provided by you, Marion, would be very, very, very useful. So something that we could also discuss during our final meeting as an upscaling possibility for our project. Of course, for doing something like you presented, we will need more funds, and so we need to think about it. But in any case, it's something that we need as Archethics, but also enlarging the platform of stakeholders, municipalities, university, etc. So could be very, very relevant to start with this. There is a message from Wojtek. Thank you for the suggestions included at Drupal and Omeka. Yeah. Thank you, Wojtek. I think those also during the presentation Marion did in October 2024, there are other references, and all the presentations together with the PowerPoint and the recording meeting are available on our website, on our Basecamp. So feel free to check if you need. So if there aren't any other question, I wish to again say thank you to Marion for her involvement in Archethics and her work with this digital archive, but also in the other activities that she provided for us. And we'll proceed with the other part of the meeting, more about logistical things and technical things in terms of project management and so on.
Okay. Thank you all. Have a good summer. And as I said, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.
we'll keep you informed about the end of the project, and for sure we'll share with you.
Yeah, the product and the final.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Marion.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so let's go with our obligations as a network. Let me share with you my screen again. Where is it? Here. Okay. Yeah. Oops. Okay, so just to going back to our network journey, some of these we already shared also during the meeting in Leipzig, but just to make a recap on some dates, we have decided the dates of the final meeting in Bétera, Valencia. That will be the 10th and the 11th of December 2025. I know that before we scheduled for November, so I apologize with especially with the Krakow, because I talked with Monica, but I hope that someone in any case from Krakow will be able to join. Paulina? Yes.
Yes, we will be on this meeting. Probably I, Monica, second Paulina, and maybe Katarzyna.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you so much. The need was to have one month more to develop the integrated action plans, but also the final product of the project, and we decided to postpone the final meeting. So the 10th and the 11th of December, we will be in Bétera, the first day, and the second day we are organizing to go to the University of Valencia to have a plenary and also official presentation together with other experts working on Dissonant Heritage. We are already working on the agenda with the Bétera team, and as soon as possible we will share with you the program for this meeting. Yes, this is the full roadmap of our project. Just something to highlight. Together we had the fourth thematic workshop online with Marion, but we will have other two thematic virtual workshops, and one will be about green transition for heritage, and together with Niels we are organizing to share with you some case studies about heritage that are working on the green transition with the green transition approach. As soon as possible, I will share with you the date for this meeting, possibly in September or in October, because we are organizing this right now. We still have space for another thematic virtual workshop, but about this, we are open to receive your suggestions in terms of contents. So if you have something that you would like to follow up, we still have the time and the space for organizing this. Could be also a meeting between us before the meeting in Bétera, sharing some points of our integrated action plan, but we still have the space to invite some guests, to invite some other speakers to follow up on some other topics. So if you have any idea, you can share with us via email, via WhatsApp, whatever you would like to do. From the meeting we had in Leipzig still today, so in these 20 days, we started also to organize the bilateral exchange in Kazanlak, and now we have also the date. So the meeting has been scheduled for the 3rd of October. It will be one-day meeting with the idea to arrive the day before. So on the 2nd of October 2025, there is an arrow on the year now, I realized. Yeah. So you will the cities that would like to join has to arrive the day before, and the meeting will last all day on the 3rd of October 2025, starting from 9 and ending at 4:30. So you will have the opportunity, if you want to go back the day of the 3rd of October, but if you want, you can stay an overnight more and go back on the 4th of October, depending also on the budget you have. The cities that shared their interest in this in the last meeting we had in Leipzig are Gdańsk, Cesena, and Përmet, and of course Kazanlak.
And also Krakow.
Also Krakow, great.
Yeah.
Okay, I will add Krakow, great. Also for this meeting that will be led by Niels directly, but we are organizing together, so I will not be present in this meeting. You will meet Niels, and he will guide you together with the municipality of Kazanlak in discovering the Bozluja monument, the Bozluja site, but also to have a workshop together with this on the topic of the multi-perspective approach for the adaptive reuse. I haven't seen before Daniela from Kazanlak. I don't know, Daniela, if you want to share something about this. I don't know if you can hear us. Maybe not. Okay, but in any case, I will share with you the agenda very soon and the Google form to register you for this bilateral exchange. Hello, Daniela. Okay, I think that you cannot open your microphone. Yes, I am just sharing the ideas for the Kazanlak meeting, and I just would like to ask you if you have some comments on this. You can use the chat if you want, but if you haven't comments, doesn't matter. I will proceed. Okay, thank you. Okay, going on again, as I said in Leipzig, for the people that were not present, I just want to remember you that you are also asked to organize your local dissemination events and the testing activities for the cities that haven't done already. So for these two tasks, if you have some specific needs, if you need support from my side or from Cesena, do not hesitate to contact us, and we are here to support also the organization of these activities. I also wish to again remind you that in March 2026 there will be the URBACT City Festival focused on the action planning networks. So Archethics will be showcased together with the other 29 networks. It will be a space for disseminating what you did at local level, but also what we have done at transnational level. So there will be marketplace sessions, debates with mayors, or other types of panels of sessions. So just keep this date in your agenda. The location will be in Cyprus, so I think that the end of March in Cyprus we also could find a really nice weather, and we can enjoy together this meeting. Some timing, some deadlines for our integrated action plan. So this slide has been updated compared to the slide I provide you in Leipzig, but more or less it's similar. So the final draft of your integrated action plan is expected for the 3rd of October. So the end of September, you have to finalize your integrated action plan. Between the 3rd of October and the 3rd of November, I would like to have one-to-one meeting with you to discuss your integrated action plan and to give you the opportunity, if you want, to improve it and to deliver a final version for the 13th of November. Of course, I need to read all of your integrated action plans before having this one-to-one discussion. So if your integrated action plan, and I am looking to the ones that I have already almost completed, please share it with me as soon as possible in order to have more time to read and to get prepared for sharing with you some comments. And the final version of your integrated action plan, through some interactive activities, but also marketplace will be showcased during our final meeting in Bétera and Valencia. In order to support you as best as possible during this last month project, I would like to suggest to have a one-to-one meeting with all of you between the 24th of August and the 30th of September 2025, where we can check all the tasks that you are asked to provide. That means how is going with your ULG, the integrated action plan, the local dissemination events, the communications, whatever you would like to discuss. So maybe a very short meeting, 20 minutes, not more, or 1 hour if you need more, but to have the opportunity to just go through all the tasks you are asked at local level. Yes, and the 3rd of October, as I said, I am waiting all the integrated action plans, but if you have it before, please do not hesitate to share with me, and I will provide you some dates for having this one-to-one meeting. The final version is supposed to be ready for the 13th of November in order to have the time to have all the EAPs ready in our base camp, and to have more or less 20 days, 1 month to get prepared for the final meeting and to transform the document in something that is possible to share with a wider audience and also with the other partners. As a starting point for the first task, so the idea to have a momentum for a project review of the tasks that you are asked to deliver, I would suggest to have this one-to-one exchange starting from the 25th of August. Of course, these are dates, let's say, that for me are okay, but of course we can modify if you have any other obligation to do. I will share this also through an email just after this meeting. So if you in this day you cannot, just let me know and I will reschedule the meeting. So the first week, the last week of August and the beginning of September is supposed to have this one-to-one exchange in order, if other cities will need more support, we will have all the month of September to have other meetings if needed. And I also have some obligations to produce in the last week, in the next weeks and months. So the 6th network report is coming, so I am drafting it and I will share with you as soon as possible. And this report will be the last one because for now we have 5 quarterly network reports that are available in Basecamp, but also in our website, in the website of URBACT Archethics. But also I am producing the post-briefing notes of the Leipzig meeting with all the presentation and all the materials collecting in the Basecamp folder. And I would like to share with you all of this by the end of the next week before the summer break. Indeed, hopefully, the August time will be a break for, I don't know if all of us, but a lot of us. So yes, I also take the opportunity to wish you a very nice summer break. But first of all, if you have any questions or any remarks or insights to share, you are welcome. It seems not. No. Okay. There is a comment from Wojtek. There will be a conference, Wojtek, in Varsavia that you want to share with us? Ah, okay. And which are the dates for this? 2nd of October. Ah, okay. For the you mean for the bilateral exchange in Kazanlak? You could have some problems. Maybe from Warsaw to Sofia, there are direct flights.
Well, probably. Sorry. I was invited to this meeting by the organizers during the last conference in Warsaw, and they were expecting some of us would come there because, you know, we share some common history of post-war reconstruction, and this is also Dissonant Heritage because it was back in the Stalinist period. But we haven't decided yet. I just talked to our boss about it, and it wasn't decided that me or anybody else is coming or joining it.
Okay. Okay.
But who knows? Maybe it's possible to do both these things at almost the same time. Well,
yeah. Okay. In any case, in the next days, I will share with you the agenda for the bilateral exchange in Kazanlak together with the registration form. If you have some remarks, you can share. But now the dates is not possible to move anymore. Also because, there were many other problems, and we don't want to postpone very far away this bilateral.
but this date is fixed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fixed.
No. Fine.
Yeah.
One more thing I'd like to discuss here because Sophia is not here, and I remember talking to you and to Sophia in Leipzig about the possibility of inviting one more expert. In this case, the talks regarded Professor Friedrich. Is this still on the table?
Yes,
Because we haven't asked him yet.
So in Bétera for the final meeting, right? You are talking about it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's possible, sure.
So I'm going to call him today because this is also fixed as of today.
Yeah. Yes, the date, the final meeting will be the 10th and the 11th of December is fixed. On the 11th, we will have this, we are still drafting the agenda, but for now, we have conceived that the first day we will work between partners the full day, sharing the results of the project. Then we will have an open conference with the Bétera citizens and local associations. And the day after, we will go to Valencia, which is close to Bétera. We will go maybe by metro or I don't know, by bus. And we will join the University of Valencia, where we are organizing an official conference with some professors, with some experts from Valencia, but also from other cities, and the professor will be welcome. Sophia is on holiday this week, and she will go back the next week.
Okay.
If you want and need to talk again also with her, we can organize a short meeting online. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll get back to you with the answer from the professor. Okay. And is he expected to prepare some presentation
about his involvement and where exactly in the agenda? Please give us the time to refine it better. Next week, when Sophia will be back, we will work on it also with Mavi, and we will go back to
we'll have
for
talk
having
over again.
more precise information. In the meantime, you can share the dates. These are fixed.
First, we have to settle with.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, guys, I think that we started a bit late, but we finished in time, more or less. It's still the German, because when we were in Leipzig, we were very, very on time all the time. So Yes, it's the German sensation, the German feeling that help us in this. Okay, thank you so much. Until the beginning of August, talking for myself, I'm still in office. I will take a break between 4 and the 20th of August. But if you need my support next week and until I go to vacation and also after, do not hesitate to contact me. I think that I will share an email with the link with the recording of the meeting of today and with the dates for the one-to-one exchange that I propose you today. Okay? Okay. Thank you so much and see you soon, very, very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye
Thank you
bye.
very much.
Have a nice weekend.